Well, welcome everybody, and I'd like to open today's official launch of reNEW by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands in which we are meeting, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and to pay our respects to their elders past and present, and any people of Aboriginal descent who are present today. I also acknowledge that this is Reconciliation Week, which is incredibly important, and to assure you that MCRI has a very big focus on improving the health and the lives of Aboriginal families. Thank you all for attending today. I think we're not match fit for actually holding these events, and it's just been wonderful to bring everybody together and to see you all in 3 dimensions. And I really want to extend a warm welcome to our Minister for Medical Research, amongst other things, but medical research is the most important, the Honourable Jaala Pulford, and also Ms Sheena Watt, who's the member for Northern Metropolitan. Thank you both for attending. I'd also like to welcome representatives from the Miller Foundation over here, and the Miller Foundation were contributed as founding donors of our institute back in 1986. So it's wonderful to have you here today. I'd also like to welcome members of our board, particularly our chair, Pat Houlihan, and our co-chair, Sarah Murdoch, and the Honourable John Bumby, AO, who is the chair of Breakthrough Victoria. It's really wonderful to have you here, John. A number of our campus partners are here, and I think the great thing about this campus is the amazing partnership that the Research Institute, the hospital, and the University of Melbourne Department of Paediatrics have together. It really represents a true academic health sciences centre. So I'd like to acknowledge the CEO of the Royal Children's Hospital, Bernadette McDonald, our Chair of Paediatrics, Sarath Raghunathan. Where are you, Sarath? There you are. And we also have a very special guest, Mia, down the front, and her mum, Lyndall, who are really the whole reason that we're here today. So MCRI houses over 1,800 researchers and students. And every one of our researchers and students walks every day to get into the Institute through the Royal Children's Hospital. So they're very in contact with the children and the families for whom we work. At our Institute, our purpose is to give all children the opportunity to live a healthy and fulfilled life. Our research breadth, our groundbreaking studies, our wonderful, brilliant minds are really aiming to change practice, to inform policy, and to deliver new treatments to ensure that children from all walks of life, all across Victoria, Australia, and around the world, no matter which circumstances they're born in, have the best start possible. Now, today we are here to launch what I think is one of the most exciting things to happen to MCRI in recent history. We're going to launch the Melbourne node of reNEW, which is based here at MCRI. It's a first of its kind international program that's been set up with a big focus on genetic disorders and how we can apply stem cell therapies and to understand the diseases and to eventually treat them. reNEW is led by our chief scientist, Professor Melissa Little, who's going to tell you some more about reNEW's mission and the planned program of work. And we'll also Associate Professor Enzo Perello, who's the leader of, Melissa leads the whole shebang of reNEW across 3 international sites. And Enzo is our local node lead here in Melbourne. And Enzo will be joined by our very special guest, Mia, who I've already mentioned. And unfortunately, Mia is no stranger to the hospital or the institute, but she's a really great advocate for the work that we do. But first, it's my great pleasure and honour to welcome Minister Jaala Pulford to say a few words about the Victoria Government's commitment to medical research across this great state.
Thank you so much, Kathryn, and it's wonderful to be here again at your incredibly special Murdoch Children's Research Institute. I would like to also begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of country and to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and indeed to acknowledge traditional owners across all of the communities that are supported and served so well by the work that's undertaken by this institute, and also to acknowledge Aboriginal people that are with us today on this really important, significant period, I think, where the national discussion's changing significantly about our relationship with our First Nations people, and I'm certainly very excited about that. I'd like to also acknowledge my dear friend and colleague in the upper house, Ms. Shana Watt. Shana and I work really closely together and both in the upper house but across a number of different portfolio areas, and it's lovely to have you with us as well. Of course, Kathryn, to you and your team, to Pat and your fellow directors, to your precinct neighbours and roommates from the extraordinary Royal Children's Hospital, and of course to John Brumby, AO Chair of Breakthrough Victoria. I've always thought of John as both a friend and a mentor, and I was thinking, when did I first hear about stem cell research? And I think it was in the time that John was Innovation Minister and Treasurer, but then of course in his time as Premier of Victoria, John has, I think, supported Victoria to be in a place that has enabled such excellence that has in turn led to where we are today. So thank you, and it's lovely to see you as always. And I believe we're also joined by Mr. Jan Ranholt from the Royal Danish Consul General in Melbourne. Oh, with us in spirit though. Yes, okay. All right, so super lovely to be here. Professor Melissa Little, congratulations to you and your colleagues and your team. This is happening because of the capability and the excellence that you and your team have been able to demonstrate on a globally significant scale. And it's a really big day for you, and we're just thrilled to be here to join you to celebrate it. So here we are, the launch of the reNEW Australia program at MCRI, one of the world's foremost centres and appropriately recognised for that in stem cell research. And we have come so far in stem cell research in recent years. Thanks to world-leading research, we can now produce beating heart tissue that down the track may be able to treat children with congenital heart disease. I think last time I was here, or maybe the time before, I was taken into a lab and shown this here is beating heart tissue. Amazing, absolutely extraordinary to see. And of course, this is but the beginning, or the beginning of the next stage. So many promising leaps in regenerative medicine and health outcomes that we see here in Victoria and around the world. And this reNEW program will further position Victoria as a leader in the next generation of stem cell research and will deliver a tremendous leap forward for our researchers. The program will boost our capability to develop new cellular therapies and engineer new tissues for currently incurable chronic diseases, as well as for discovering new treatments for genetically inherited diseases. Most importantly, it will place research at the centre of our world-class children's hospital, bringing new advances straight to patients in need, to families at what can be a really challenging and a really dark time. And so I know that's why you all get out of bed every day and do the work that you do so that you can make a really big difference to the lives of patients. So we're very proud to be supporting this initiative. Very pleased to have been able to secure some funding for the business case for what will be the home in our recent state budget, so that we can get right into the detail of what facilities reNEW will need in the coming years. So space for clinical trials to the latest innovative gene therapy technologies. We understand deeply how important it is that you have what you need to be able to do what you do, to make those discoveries that will change lives and that will save lives. So the 10-year reNEW program leverages and builds on a long history in Victoria in supporting groundbreaking stem cell research and aligns with our commitments to transformative medicine, but also the industry and business development that enables the science to be translated as quickly as possible to the patients. Previously, COVID fund research provided support to Melissa and her team to evaluate direct and indirect effects of SARS-CoV-2 on multiple organ systems using stem cell-derived human tissues. And since 2014, there's been an average $100 million a year investment from the state government into this community, into this sector, into our medical research capability. Lots of different exciting things happening, big things happening with mRNA, with genomics, with cancer discoveries and research, translation, new devices, a heart hospital that's very nearly completed, which will be the best of its kind in the world. And I could go on, but I won't, because I know that we have other people to speak. But we have a 30,000 strong medical research workforce. And I recently had the opportunity to visit Boston and to see what was the difference between top 3 and top 1. I don't think there's that much in it, and I think we've now honed in on the difference. So we'll continue to strive to be not just one of the very small number of best in the world, but the very best in the world, because we know we have the scientific capability here to do that. So congratulations again. I'm really confident that reNEW will continue to accelerate these breakthroughs and lead to positive health outcomes for current and future generations. This innovation is saving lives now and in the future, and making sure that people have happier, healthier lives, and that well-being can be extended to people not just here in our own communities in Victoria, but indeed around the world. So thank you. We stand with you, and we look forward to all the success that will come from this exciting initiative.
I'd now like to introduce a video message from Mads Krosko Thompson, who's the CEO of the Novo Nordisk Foundation. Obviously couldn't be with us today from Copenhagen, but we'll have a seamless showing of his video message.
I'm Mads Krosko Thompson and CEO of the Novo Nordisk Foundation, that for the past 100 years has had a bold vision to improve human health. The recently inaugurated Novo Nordisk Foundation Stem Cell Medicine Center, reNEW, makes me extremely proud with its clear mission to progress stem cell medicine to the next level, building on many years of world-class research here in Copenhagen, Leiden, Melbourne, and elsewhere in the world. The 3 reNEW research centers will together advance the field of regenerative medicine as it relates to stem cell-based therapies, disease modeling, drug screening, and other areas of high unmet medical need. The transformative outcomes that I expect from reNEW will be based on strong collaboration between reNEW scientists, facilitated by state-of-the-art technologies that complement each other across the 3 sites. Congratulations to all of us on the launch of this unique and life-changing research center.
Thank you very much, and thanks to Mads for his inspirational presentation. I'd really like to join Kathryn in offering you a warm welcome to this official launch of the Novo Nordisk Foundation Centre for Stem Cell Medicine, which we call reNEW, and particularly reNEW Melbourne, which is where we are now. And I'd also take this opportunity to point out the principal investigators that make up reNEW Melbourne, who are some of us who are here this morning. If you'd like to just wave, put up your hands and say, I'm a stem cell researcher. So my name is Professor Melissa Little, and I am the CEO of reNEW globally, and also the Chief Scientist here at MCRI. And as Mads Krosko Thompson has elegantly articulated, the Novo Nordisk Foundation itself has a very bold vision to improve human health through funding mission-driven research initiatives such as this. So really, it is this such initiative that reNEW represents, and this is actually the first occasion that the Novo Nordisk Foundation has truly funded a global initiative. It's previously only funded within Denmark. And it also represents the largest single grant made by that foundation, an investment of 2.235 billion Danish kroner, which is equivalent to 300 million euro across the 3 partners across a decade. So this is really a remarkable investment that has the potential to change the future. So the vision of reNEW as a whole aligns completely with the foundation in that we aim to advance the new generation of effective and safe stem cell-based therapies into clinic, built on an international collaborative network of research excellence in targeted biomedical research. And that's what the researchers at the 3 nodes are really bringing to the table. To achieve this, as you've heard, we have a tripartite relationship with the University of Copenhagen and Leiden University Medical Center. And we launched globally on the 1st of January this year, and already in 5 short months we've built a portfolio of collaborative projects that cross the 3 centres and are driving towards stem cell-based products in heart, blood, kidney, pancreas and brain. And I've just returned from Denmark, where we held our first annual scientific meeting. Many of the researchers in the room were present. We had 120 researchers from across the globe in Copenhagen. We only lost, I think, 2 on the way to COVID, which for many of the researchers was actually the first time they've met, let alone the first time they've actually been at a meeting post-COVID. So it was really a very exciting event. And we've also initiated exchange opportunities where the researchers from these 3 nodes can move backwards and forwards. And in fact, I'm very proud that reNEW Melbourne is actually hosting the first of those exchanges, with a researcher from Copenhagen coming to our gene editing facility to learn that technology. So you can see how this is going to be a really valuable activity. As Mads explained, we have a very clear strategic portfolio. These include a theme called Resolve, which really proposes to improve drug development by using human stem cell-based models of tissues. Rebuild, which focuses on the development of advanced cell therapies and bioengineered tissues. Rewrite, which focuses on developing new approaches to editing the genome within stem cells for therapy. And importantly, Prepare. And Prepare will focus on the ethical, social, regulatory and economic barriers that such groundbreaking advanced therapies bring with it, and work alongside the stem cell researchers to prepare us for success in the public arena. So it's no coincidence that these themes and these areas of research completely and directly reflect the strategic objectives of stem cell medicine here within MCRI. So the MCRI stem cell researchers are pioneers and international leaders in pluripotent stem cell biology. That is, stem cells that we can generate from any individual, from any cell in that individual, that we can then redifferentiate into any specific tissue that we want to model. That means we can actually make stem cells from a patient, we can model their own disease in a dish, or we can recreate cell types, hopefully, eventually for clinical use, and that's our passion. So, however, I would point out on this occasion that our ability to drive this research forward at MCRI is in no small part because of many of you in the room. So it's through philanthropic giving of the generous supporters, including the Stafford Fox Medical Research Foundation, who weren't actually able to be here today, another COVID casualty, the Tyne Reid Foundation and Sarah Murdoch and many others, that we've bootstrapped this stem cell initiative in MCRI to a site of international prominence. And we celebrate that today. This has included the establishment of stem cell derivation facilities, stem cell gene editing facilities, and high-content drug screening facilities specifically for stem cell tissues. That has enabled us also to recruit further excellent researchers, including Enzo himself, to leverage competitive external funding, and to give back to the Australian and international stem cell community, particularly in the area of novel gene-edited stem cell lines. So it's a philanthropic support that has then led on to additional funding. Minister Pulford talked about the investment by the state government in the Victorian State Government COVID stem cell program, which we led. We are still working on here, using human stem cell derived tissues to look at the impact of SARS-CoV-2, but also substantial income from the federal government's MRFF stem cell mission and also the NHMRC. So we're really very thankful to the Minister and the government of Dan Andrews for supporting us to move forward. And I really think that what this does is add to the existing strength in stem cell research within Victoria as a whole, and really places us on a world stage. So at reNEW Melbourne, we do embrace the vision that Kathryn articulated to deliver therapies into children who, like Mia, who you'll hear in a minute, are no strangers to the Royal Children's Hospital. What's really important is that MCRI is a partner in the Melbourne Children's Campus alongside the Royal Children's Hospital, and we thank Bernadette for being present today, and also the University of Melbourne, we thank Sarath for being present. The campus itself sits squarely within the Parkville Biomedical Precinct, And this combination represents an ideal environment to drive stem cell research in close collaboration with the best clinicians, the biomedical scientists, the engineers, the ethicists, and the bioengineering technology in the biotechnology sector in Victoria. And with the addition of our international reNEW partners, we really gain yet another opportunity to deliver innovative stem cell therapies that may one day transform the lives of children with incurable disease. So I think I've said enough. I really thank everyone for being here today. I thank my fantastic stem cell researchers in Melbourne who really are now visible internationally. And I really would like to just introduce our next speaker, who is Mia Cowley, and her mother Linda, to say a few words that may give you a little bit more insight into what motivates us on a daily basis. Thank you, Mia.
Hi, my name's Mia. I'm 16 years old. My favourite colour is pink. I have 2 cats. Their names are Biggles and Clara, and I'm in year 11 at high school. But I'm no stranger to the fear that is the future, especially with my heart condition. I have a congenital heart defect called a double outlet right ventricle, ASD, VSD, mitral atresia, and a hypoplastic left ventricle, which basically means that I have holes in my heart and I have ventricles in the wrong place. The stem cell research is really interesting to me because it can actually help me and it can help others. I had to have 4 open heart surgeries when I was little, and I know I've got a friend that had to have 6. This was just because of how complicated these things are, and if there's an easier way to help them, then I want to have that easier way. And I think the stem cell research, even if it's currently just for heart failure or anything else, I think it's really, really important. Yeah.
So thank you, Mia, for sharing your story with us today. You're a real inspiration for the work that we do here at MCRI. So as a stem cell biologist with a focus on the heart, one of the advances that I've been most excited about over the last 5 years is in our ability to grow complex 3-dimensional human heart tissues from stem cells. And my hope is that one day we'll be able to use those bioengineered heart tissues to change the outcome for children like Mia and to reduce the need for heart transplants in children with heart disease. And this is really just one of the opportunities for reNEW Melbourne. So as the node director of reNEW MCRI, reNEW Melbourne, I'm incredibly proud and excited to lead this initiative here at MCRI. reNEW really recognises the scientific excellence of our stem cell researchers here at MCRI, and it provides us with an opportunity to take that stem cell research and to move it closer to clinical translation. As such, all of the stem cell researchers here at MCRI are incredibly excited by this opportunity and the ability to engage in this international collaboration, and we're looking forward to what the future might bring. And I'd finally just like to thank you all for your continued support and in enabling us to take this transformative research and to move it closer to the clinic here in Australia. So thank you, and I think I'll hand it back to Kathryn.
Thanks so much to Enzo, to Mia, Melissa. Just wonderful to hear about what the promise that reNEW brings. I'd really like to also thank you, Minister Pulford, not just for being here today, the support of your government, but the incredible dedication that you show to all medical researchers. It's great to have a minister that we consider our friend. I was just thinking as Enzo was talking, when we were recruiting Enzo, We have this really interestingly named seminar series called the Functional Genomics Seminar Series that Endo came and gets them in, that Enzo came and presented at. And what was amazing at this seminar is the front row, just like the front row here, the 4 cardiothoracic surgeons from the hospital were here to hear what Enzo could do. And now they work side by side. We have bioengineers really looking at how we can use our ability to make beating heart cells and use them for treatment of wonderful kids like Mia. And this is the excitement, and I think Melissa is sort of always one of these people that will never overcall what we might be able to do. But I must say that all of us are incredibly optimistic that we're going to be able to move into that space of delivering these therapies in our work lifetime. Yes, which is incredibly exciting. So thank you. Please join us for morning tea. It's just been such a pleasure to have you all here. Really, I think this is it's such an incredible philanthropic investment from the Novo Nordisk Foundation. 300 million euros just catches your attention. But the other thing is that for our entire team, it gives that 10 years of sustainability so that they can look into the future and make sure their stuff happens. So thanks all of you. Thank you, Minister. And proceed to tours and morning tea, please.
Yeah. Like as we yeah, exactly. So what's your I did science in Jaala. I guess that's what Australia's suffered from, industry.